first thing that you want to do when you open Adobe Premiere Pro is create a new project. And in this project, you'll want to give it a name and always do your period number, your last name, and then the name of the project. And my project here is stop motion. Then you need to hit browse, and you want to find the folder on your desktop that you have all your photos in, because you want them to all be in one place. And on this instance, we do want our folders on our desktop because video does not work well across a network. So you don't want to have this saved into your OneDrive until you're completely done with it. Then you can move it over. So I'm saving it in that same folder, and then I am clicking OK. There's different windows in here. Obviously, we have our menus at the top. Down here at the bottom left, we have our bins. This is where we import our media. Down here at the bottom right, we have our timeline. There's nothing there right now, but this is how you arrange your video clips or images on the timeline. Up here to the top right, it gives you a preview of your timeline. And then up at the top left, there's a few different windows from effect control in controls and source. What you can look at individual clips. Okay, so I'm going to start off by importing all of my images, and my images are again in that folder on my desktop, and once I select them, they will show up here in my bin. Okay, so if you save them properly, they should be all in numeric order because they're all in one folder. If you have them in two folders, then you need to import them separately, okay? Because if you have them done twice, there's a chance that the naming won't stay with it. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of those and click open, and it is going to import them here into the project bin. Here it is. And if I look, right now they're all selected. I can view them in list view, or I can view them as a small thumbnail. Okay, I'm going to go to list view because list view allows me to see all the file names, and it will allow me to see if I have them all in order. So I can see that 1021 is my first one, and they keep getting bigger and bigger, and 10, 11, 41 is my last one. Okay, now the first thing that you want to do before you drag them into the timeline, this is a stop motion, which means each of our images needs to be the same amount of time in the timeline. So all of them are selected, and if for some reason you deselected them, you can simply do a Control-A to select all of them over here in your bin. Right click, and we're going to do speed duration. Now, the current duration of it says that it's going to be 4 seconds and 4 seconds and 29 frames, which is simply 1 frame shy of 5 seconds. So what we want to do is click there. We're going to change the 4 to a 0, and then we're going to change the 29 to 03, 03. And the reason we're doing that is because we want, remember we took the images so that there are 10 images per second. There is 30 frames per second when we talk about video editing. And so we need each image to last 3 frames, which is this. Then click OK. Now, they should all be changed at this point in time, and so it should be safe for us to drag them onto our timeline. And again, there's nothing here right now, so if we simply drag and drop, need all of them to stay selected, drag and drop, then you're actually going to see the timeline here. Okay? Now, a little tip, our scroll bar down here at the bottom left, if we drag the scroll bar to the right, notice how our timeline kind of zooms out. It makes everything smaller. If we drag it to the left, everything appears bigger. Doesn't mean that it's changed the amount of time. It's still lasting 12 seconds, but it makes it look bigger so that I can see each individual photo. And if I wanted to select each individual one on its own to check something, I could. Okay? So that is up to you, but you need to know how to adjust that. Again, here's the preview window. So you could start at 0 and just give it a little preview as you go through and check to make sure that everything is working the way you had planned it to. Make sure that your images are showing up in order. Mine are, so I'm good to go. That is all that I needed to do as far as bringing in, importing the images, setting the time length on them, and then dropping them on my timeline.